Hello dears, we are studying strength of material and today's topic is simple stress. What is simple stress or a stress? We can say stress. So stress is the resisting force per unit area. A stress is resisting force per unit area. That is called a stress or simple stress. Now we will study in detail for about a stress. So take a bar or rod. We take a rod or bar and applying the force on both sides, and this force is a pulling force. This force is applied by pull, or we can say it is a tensile force. We can say it is a tensile force because pulling is there. So if we applied the tensile force on the rod, then elongation of the material takes place. That is, we can say deformation of the rod takes place. So if the force is tensile, then it increase the length of rod by del L. If the force is tensile, then it increase the rod or try to increase the rod by del L. So what is del L? And del L is called deformation. So when increase the rod del L, then its deformation will be like this, and this is deformation of the rod. This one is del L. So deformation of the rod takes place, and we take if two plane, that is A and B, then the distance between the plane will increase. So it will be like this. This one is A and B, and when increase the distance between the two plane, then this one A dash or B dash. The distance between the two planes will increase when apply the pull force, or we can say tensile force, and its planes will be A dash or B dash. That is deformation on the rod. We can say deformation on the rod takes place. So when force apply on the body, or we can say rod to deform, then internal resistance force create on a body for oppose the deformation of a body. When we apply on the force on rod, so then body will also create the resisting force to oppose the deformation of the body, and when the applied force is greater than the deformation of the, when the applied force is greater than the resisting force, then body will deform. So when force apply on a body to deform, then internal resistance force create on a body to oppose the deformation of a body. Now to analyze this force, we use the method of section. What type of force acting on a body? So to analyze this force, we use the method of section. So now we will apply on the body is method of section. So how will apply the method of section? Now one section create on a midpoint. So this one is section. XX is the section, and it's divided into two similar parts. That is x1. It is the distance. X1 is the distance. So now we will draw. Method of section is applied to analyze the internal force. Its main function is to analyze the internal force of acting on a body. So now we will draw free body diagram of method of body. So this will first segment of free body diagram. This one is first segment and this one is second segment. Here applying pulling force, and this one is second segment, and distance is x. So both are bodies same. This one is free body diagram. So in case of there is resisting force, when apply the force, then body will create the resisting force to oppose the deformation of a body. For static equilibrium, now in a static equilibrium condition, the summation of force is equals to 0. It is necessary condition. For static equilibrium of a body, summation of forces acting on a body will be 0. That is summation fx in x direction. So summation fx is equals to 0, or we can say summation fy is equals to 0 and summation fz equals to 0. Similarly, summation of moment will be equals to 0. Then we can say that is summation mx is equal to 0, summation my is equals to 0 and summation mz equals to 0. So in case of a static equilibrium, the force acting on the body here in x direction, we can apply in y direction also, the result will be same. So here force acting in x direction because tensile force is there. So in both sides F minus P is equals to 0 because the body is in a static equilibrium. So F minus P is equals to 0. Therefore F equals to P is equals to 0. So F equals to P. Similarly in segment 2, F minus P equals to 0. Therefore F equals to P. Therefore F equals to P. So this condition will be throughout the body. Throughout the body, nature of forces will be same. If the nature of forces will be same, then the equation will be same also. If we take more than 2 segment, then equation will be same for all segment or all free body diagram. So throughout the body, nature of forces will be same, then equation will be same also. Throughout the body, nature of forces will be same, then equation will be same also. Now we will draw the free body diagram of segment 1. So this one is free body diagram of segment 1, that is body 1, and here pulling force is applying, that is tensile force, and here it is the cross section, and here the for cross section area del A, the force acting is del F. We can say the cross section area del A, that is force acting is del F, that is small amount of area. Del A is small amount of area acting a small amount of force. So here stress is resisting force per unit area. Stress is equals to resisting force per unit area, that is sigma. Sigma is the stress. So sigma is equals to limit A tends to 0 del F by del A. Del F by del A. And limit A tends to 0. This indicate what is indicating of limit A tends to 0, or we can say what is say the equation. So equation says that the value of stress for different area can be different. This value, the value of stress, that is we can say the value of sigma for different area, that is del A, will be different, or we can say can be different. The equation says that the value of stresses for different area can be different. That is sigma is not constant throughout the cross section. Sigma is not constant throughout the cross section, or sigma will be equals to df by dA. We can write sigma is equals to df by dA. sigma is equals to df by dA. Therefore df is equals to sigma dA. When we will solve this equation, then it will be dA is equals to, or we can say df is equals to sigma dA. Now integrate the equation, then integration of df is equals to sigma dA. So here sigma is not constant. We can see here sigma is not constant. Now we will apply the concept of average stress. So in case of average stress for whole cross section, if you take the average stress, then cross section will apply, it is whole cross section, and sigma will be constant. So we can say sigma average is equals to constant. Now we can integrate the equation. So here sigma average is equals to constant. Then equation will be integration of df is equals to sigma integration of dA. So f is equals to sigma into a. Therefore sigma equals to f by a. That is resisting force per unit area. So here F is resisting force. Here F is resisting force. Now F is equals to P. That is P is a applied force. So sigma is equals to P by A. Here P is equals to applied force, because applied force is equals to resisting force for equilibrium condition. So here will be sigma is equals to P by A. So this is the for stress. Now unit of stress. Unit of stress is force per unit area. We can say Newton per meter square. It is the unit of stress, Newton per meter square, and it is called pascals. So 1 Newton per meter square is equals to 1 Pascal, or 1 kilo Newton per meter square is equals to 1 kilopascal. Or 1 megapascal is equals to 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. Or 1 gigapascal is equals to 10 to the power 9 Newton per meter square. Or we can say 10 to the power 9 Pascal. So 1 Newton per mm square is equals to 1 megapascal. 1 Newton per mm square is equals to 1 megapascal. Now we will see what is the type of quantity for stress. So a stress is not a scalar or not a vector. It is a tensor quantity. A stress is tensor quantity because it does not follow the vector law of addition. Tensor quantity which does not follow vector law of addition, and stress does not follow the vector law of addition. So we can say a stress is tensor quantity. It follow only simple algebraic addition. So this is all about stress or simple stress. So today's topic is over. Thanks for watching.